Hey, what is up, everybody? In today's video, I'm going to be doing an unboxing of Battlefield 5 for the Xbox One. Or, I'm sorry, Battlefield V for the Xbox One. But, okay, jokes aside, yeah, so this is the fifth Battlefield game, technically, which is interesting because the previous game was called Battlefield 1, when it really should have just been called World War 1, but whatever. It's the fifth entry, and yeah, it's been 7 years since this game released. Um, I got this for just $1, $1, down from 20. I actually had access to this game already through Game Pass and also EA Play on PC, but it was $1, so why not just own a physical copy, especially since they can't take it away from me. But yeah, Battlefield 5. This was a huge missed opportunity back in 2018. I mean, first of all, this game actually has a campaign, unlike its competitor, Call of Duty Black Ops 4, and yet they really fumbled with the campaign. Sorry, with the trailer for this. Like you can see on the back here, enter mankind's greatest conflict, World War II, as you've never seen it before. 64 player multiplayer across the tide of war. They said player twice. 64 player multiplayer. Untold war stories, Xbox One X enhanced 4K Ultra HD, dynamic range, Xbox single player, Xbox Live 8 to 64 players, Xbox Live co-op multiplayer 2 to 4. And in terms of install size, the game needs about 50 gigabytes of storage, but I suspect that's at minimum, but that's probably more, especially with all the updates. Of course, it's developed by DICE, published by EA, using the Frostbite engine. Winner, best online multiplayer. I'm pretty sure that's just marketing. And of course, we have the mature rating on the back, with blood, strong language, violence, in-game purchases, I think that's the French side. But yeah, game plays in English and French, because of course this is Canada. But, and here's the side. Now, I'm not sure if you can tell, but yeah, this box on the back definitely has seen better days. They literally just I literally found this on the shelf. It's probably the last brand new copy, or new in quotation, because GameStop has a habit of taking one brand new copy and then opening it to put on the shelf, and then they sell it as new, which is obviously controversial because, I mean, the moment you open something, is it really new? I mean, the same way that, when you start up a car, when you first buy it, suddenly it loses value. So that's kind of one of the issues people have. Now, if we take a look inside, well, we got the game on the left because, of course, this is the Xbox One. And then we have some generic piece of writing here, some generic warning label here. Really, there's really not much to say. But I mean, I have a lot to say about the game itself. This was a huge missed opportunity. The marketing failed, sadly. It soured a lot of people because the first trailer just left a lot of people confused and angry, dare I say. And it's a shame, they were hot off the heels of Battlefield 1, and this could have very easily been a slam dunk. They had a campaign, unlike Black Ops 4, as I mentioned, and, World War II. They just had Call of Duty World War II the previous year, and that game, I think, had some issues. And this game also got a battle royale mode through an update. I think it's called Firestorm or whatever. But the biggest problem, the battle royale mode, alongside Black Ops 4, I should say, is that you had to pay full price to get it. Unlike a lot of other battle royales like Fortnite, Apex Legends, also done by EA, by the way, and PUBG, which were, no, I think PUBG, yeah, I think PUBG were free to play. So that really hurt it. And by the time the game got into a good state, it was already too late. A lot of the player base had evaporated, so that really hurt them. And so they just said, you know what, let's just move on to the next title. And what we got after this was Battlefield 2043, and we all know how that turned out. But I think most of you guys probably already know this, or knew all that, or at least had some idea of what. But what I want to know is what's actually on this disc, because of course, with all the updates, not a lot of the content on here is relevant. So let's pop this game into my Xbox One and see how big it actually is and how big the update is. Okay, we're here on my Xbox One. I put it in offline mode just to see, well, how big the file is on disk. So, okay, Battlefield 5 over here. Alright, let's see how big the actual game is. Okay, it's installing. Let's see. Alright, let's see how big it actually is. Oh, wow, 31.89 gigabytes. Okay, that's actually not that big, all things considered. I do wonder, I do have to wonder how big the update is. Because it did say we needed about 50 gigabytes, so um, I wonder if this is just like the single player content. I really don't know, but we'll find out soon enough. Alright, so it took about 20 minutes or so, but it's done installing. So let's see what's actually on this disc and what I can actually play. Okay, so the game's loading up here, and I just noticed if you look in the bottom corner, it actually has the present year, which is a bit interesting. You would normally think that it would be the year of release, but no, it's the year of the present, which I find odd, which means that they updated the game this past year, which is interesting. Okay, so I finally managed to make it to the main menu here, and yeah, so as you can see, it says failed to connect to EA Online. The war stories, it looks like you can play. I don't know how far in you can go, whether or not it lets you play the whole thing offline. I'm assuming that's the case. Maybe I'm not too sure. But as you can see here, can't really do much. You can see we have also Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 4. But yeah, really, there's not much you can do. So I'm gonna go online and see how big the update is, and we'll go from there. Okay. So after immediately uh, going online, I got kicked out of the game, and now I basically have to download an update. And oh, okay, it looks like the patch is about 50 gigabytes, almost 50 gigabytes exactly. Okay, that's quite a bit. So, assuming that's 50 gigabytes on top of the 30 gigabytes, that's a total of 80 potentially. That's the potential size of the game. I'm sure you can just look up the size of the game on the Xbox store, but you never really know how accurate those are these days with all the constant updating. But it does appear at the very least, 50 gigabytes is needed to play online. It did say at the back of the box, you need at least 50 gigabytes of storage. Well, it should have said, well, obviously they didn't have the hindsight, but when they say 50 gigabytes on the back, it really means 50 additional gigabytes of storage. So, yeah, you're gonna need at least, I want to say maybe about 100, 100 gigabytes, basically. I'm sure this game is probably going to be like 100 gigabytes, potential close to 100 gigabytes. When all is said and done. But yeah, that's basically Battlefield 5 in the year 2025. I'm actually again surprised they had the logo for the usually when the game is released, they often have the year, the they display the year in the corner of when the game was last updated, and it just so happens the game was updated this year to reflect that, which is interesting. But yeah, hopefully this game ends up being decent at the very least. I've never played it, so we'll find out when I eventually get to it. But and we'll also find, and I'm sure, hopefully, not to get too ahead of myself here, but Battlefield, the next Battlefield game has been announced, potentially Battlefield 6. So We'll see how that one turns out, because the last couple of Battlefield games have not been as good as they should be. So here's hoping Battlefield can make a return, and we can go back to the days of Battlefield being like a top contender for giving Call of Duty some serious competition, which is something that's desperately needed right now, because of course we got, I think we have Black Ops, the next Black Ops game coming later this year potentially. That's the rumor, Black Ops 7, sequel to Black Ops 2. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. But anyways, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. If you like what you saw, I want to see more, as always, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Take care.